It's happened. Nintendo are finally increasing the price of the Nintendo Switch 2. Is it still worth it? Now let's go back to last year when Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch 2 and the pricing of it. And if you remember, everyone went absolutely ballistic over the price point. The price point was too high, drop the price was what every live stream Nintendo did. It just was absolutely mental with the pricing. However, as time went on, we started seeing the increased prices of RAM and storage and everything thanks to AI and all that kind of stuff, right? So we saw the Windows, the PC handhelds prices just go absolutely through the roof. And then the Nintendo Switch started becoming very enticing. The Switch 2's pricing actually was pretty damn good. But now they have increased the price point. So last Friday, Nintendo announced pretty much a worldwide price increase of around 10%. So in Japan, everything's going up in price. The Switch 2, the Switch OLED, the Switch Lite. But then we're seeing the US going up by $50, so it's going from $450 to $500, which is about 10 to 11% increase in price, right? Canada gets a $50 increase. Europe gets a 30 euros increase, which is basically in line with $50, right, in terms of conversion. And weirdly, the UK doesn't get any price increase yet. They've stated there is going to be one, but they just haven't settled on it. So here in the UK, it actually costs £396. I just don't understand why they haven't announced the price when they have for the rest of the world. Like, it just seems very, very strange. But considering everyone else is getting a $50 increase or 30 euros increase, I imagine we'll see like a 25 to 35 pound increase. Now, these are effective in Japan from the 25th of May, but for the 1st of September for Western markets, right? So we're going to see these price increases in September. So you've actually got a bit of time to go and get one of these at the current price point, right? So I'd recommend that you probably do if you're interested in a Switch 2, right? If not, you're going to be paying more towards the end of this year. Now, obviously, Nintendo didn't want to do this price hike. They were going to be forced to because of the current world situations, right? I remember when the Switch 2 actually launched, they were subsidizing the cost of the device by increasing the price of the hardware. So buying separate Joy-Cons, the Switch 2 Pro controller, any of that kind of stuff was going to cost more so that the console price could stay lower. Right? So obviously now they've hit the point where they just can't keep going with that, and they're just going to have to increase the price point. And of course, like I said, Nintendo aren't happy about that because the president, Shutaru Furukawa, has come out and basically said, we will prepare a robust software lineup to enhance the Switch 2's ownership value, and we will work diligently to overcome this barrier. So what they're saying is they're just going to offer more games by the look of it. And we're also seeing now that here in the UK, it's been the case since day one, but it looks like that's coming out for Americas and other Western places as well, where the Switch 2 games are going to be cheaper digitally than physically. That has been a thing here in the UK, right? It's always down to retailers depending on what they mark it up at. So most of the time, if you're not buying directly from Nintendo, you can still just find a physical version cheaper than digital. But just to put it in perspective, Star Fox, right, which has just been announced last week, that is $60 for the actual physical game, right? Or $50 on the eShop. And here in the UK, it's going to be £50 for the physical or £42 for the digital version. Now that's just an example. We know that Switch 2 games can be up to like $70, right? That is just the Star Fox remake of a remake of a remake of a remake. Cool, but at least you're going to be able to get digital downloads cheaper. The thing that gets me is they're saying they're going to focus on offering more Switch titles, right? The software is the thing they're going to really focus on to bring the value to the Switch 2, which is totally right. That's how every games console should be anyway, right? Like they should just focus on games. This thing is just a way of playing games, so their focus should always be on games. But I mean, we don't really know that much in terms of what's coming out at the minute. Yeah, okay, we know Star Fox, we know the new Splatoon, okay, there's Fire Emblem, we know there's going to be another Pokemon, but where's like the next 3D Mario and all that kind of stuff? So like games-wise, I feel like we haven't had a full-on direct in a little while, so I'm kind of waiting. There's games that were announced at launch that still aren't out, like Elden Ring and Dustbloods, things like that, right, which I feel like need to get pushed out. Like they need to give us dates for these games, and they also need to show us more games, because I don't think it's lacking right now. There's plenty of incredible Switch 2 games right now. I mean, the demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth absolutely blows my mind that this thing can even run that. There's so many good games out there. There's Metroid, you've got Cyberpunk, you've got Star Wars Outlaws, you've got Mario Kart World. Like, there is a lot of really good games already, like in under a year on the Switch 2, in my opinion. But I want to know more. Like, where's more? What's next? What's coming? Like, put this like statement where you're saying, I'll focus on games, and tell us what games you're working on. Let us see the next big AAA Nintendo game, because that's what's going to drive sales of this device. And again, if they're not raising the price until like later on in this year in the Western world, you're probably going to see a huge surge of sales if you just tell us what games are coming, right? Tell us what games are there. People will go, right, sweet, I'm going to go and buy one of these now at the original price in preparation for that. Whereas if you don't announce the games, people are probably going to hold off. Like, what's the point buying one if you're not even telling me what games are coming for it? Now, that's all well and good. The price has gone up, let's say 10%. It's more like 11.5%, something like that, right? But let's just say 10%. It's gone up. So we're at the $500 price point. I think it's going to be around £430 around that, because it's $395 currently. Is it still worth it? Well, I mean, if you look at what else is there on the market, the only other thing that comes into the same price point as this is the base Xbox Ally, which is over there, and the Steam Deck, which is currently sold out like worldwide, and they're not going to be bringing more stock to that, because at the price point that they're offering it, it's not sustainable for them to actually like make more and sell at that, because Valve, we know, are having an issue with RAM and stuff like that with the Steam machine, where that's not even been announced yet. We've just got the Steam controller drop, right? But we haven't seen what they're going to do for the Steam Deck. And if they do bring stock back up to be able to be bought, I imagine we're going to see a price increase on that too. The Xbox Ally then, okay, it's weak, and I would argue that the Switch 2 is actually more powerful than it, even though it's a totally different ecosystem, right? You can run Steam games, you can run Xbox games, you can run Xbox Game Pass on the Xbox Ally, where you don't even have to buy the games, you just pay for a subscription and you can play them on that. But the Switch 2, though, is like a different beast, right? The games are more expensive, but you're getting a true like console experience without any bugs and issues with software and messing around and having to force streaming and stuff like this. This thing is a little powerhouse where you can turn it into a full-on TV console and then pick it up and off you go, handheld, natively running the game locally without being like forced to stream it. The thing that I think the Switch 2 has, which is really beneficial and a bit old school in comparison to the digital world of PC handhelds, is game key cards. I know everyone hates them, but the thing is you can still sell them. So I could take a game, let's just take it off my shelf just here, like Metroid just here, right? I could play this, I could complete it, and if I never wanted to play it again, then I could just go and sell it to a shop, sell it privately, recoup some money to then buy the next game that I'm buying, and not just act like the game hoarder that I actually am. So it gives more people options, because again, if you buy digital games, you can't sell them. They're linked to your account. That's it. And yes, that still applies to the Switch 2, but stuff like PC handhelds, that's all you've got. The other thing we have to take into consideration is the more expensive handhelds, right? The Xbox Ally X, okay, that retails at 800 UK, 1,000 America, right, dollars. We've just seen a price increase subtly here in the UK. On the Xbox website, on the UK one, instead of $799, it's now $899. And if you go to their official retailers stocking it, which used to previously sell it at $799, they're all at $850. So that also has been given like a £50 increase, or £100 if you look at the Xbox website, even though you can't buy it off their website at the minute for some reason. So that's gone up in price. And again, if we look at the Legion Go 2, that thing went from like £1,050 to like 2,000. So it like doubled in price, not just a 10% increase. Is the Switch 2 worth it at a 10% increase? To be honest, I think it was extremely good value when it launched, even though everyone was absolutely crying about the price. I didn't see that. I could see the benefit of the Switch 2 myself personally. But yeah, at 10% increase in price in this current market where things are absolutely extortionately priced, like who's paying £2,000, £2,000, nearly $3,000 that thing there costs, right? And this pretty much plays most of the same games if it's a AAA game that's been ported to the Switch 2, right? So is it worth it at $500? Yeah. Is this still going to be worth it at £430 or whatever? Yeah. Would I still recommend this, the Switch 2, over an Xbox Ally, the base white one? Yeah. Yes, I would. I mean, it's a tough call. It really, really is. It all comes down to what's worth it for you. Some people will be paying $3,000 for this. I mean, it's crazy, but some people will be, absolutely. So there will be people that are willing to pay that 10% increase in price point. And like I said, I think if Nintendo get their sort of thoughts in order here and really push the games, like show us what's coming in a reasonable time frame. I'm not saying pull a Bethesda and show Elder Scrolls 7 and say, yeah, it's coming, and then it's been 10 years and we've not heard a single thing, right? Don't do that. I hate that. Give us game titles that are going to be releasing in the next sort of 6 to 12 months with a confirmed release date. And then people will absolutely be happy to pay that 10% price increase. No one wants to pay more for something when you can get it for less, which is why you've got that grace period, right? You've got until what, September, I think I said, to buy one of these at this price point. Is this still worth it? I really think this is, in terms of like PC Master Race land, the most underrated handheld for sure. But for the general consumer, where this is the handheld they'll be looking at, it's a brilliant device. It really is a good device. Yeah, okay, you're looking at like 30 FPS and stuff on like AAA titles, but for most people, that's going to be just fine. I still think it's totally worth this price point, the new price point. I already thought it was a good price point when it launched anyway, but that's just me. I think it's not too bad. I know I'm going to get hate for that in the comments, but you know, in the current market where PC components are just extortionately high now compared to what they were recently, I think a 10% increase in price is actually really good. When I heard that they were doing a price point increase, I was thinking we would see like a 30% plus increase, but no, 10%. I think they've done pretty well there. So come on, Nintendo, step up, show us what we're going to be getting for that extra price point, right? Show us the games, and I think everyone will be more than happy with that new price point going forward. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments whilst you're down there. Drop a like, subscribe, become a member, and you get to chat to us on our private Discord as well. Let me know all your thoughts about the price point. Will you be paying it? Will you get one before the price point? Have you already bought one? If you have one already, tell me if you found value in it. Do you love it, or do you not like it? And if you also have a PC handheld, what do you find yourself gravitating towards more? Do you play the PC side, or do you play the Switch too? Love to know all your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.